This is Lowcountry Money Talk. We've been talking all kinds of things with expert Phil Bloyd with Revolutionary Financial Group. And we're going to talk about some more things, Phil.
I'm all for it.
We always have lots of content to cover.
Yes.
In fact, we really need more time. But you do a great job of really wrapping this up for us and feeding it to us in a way that is able to understand and make some moves and take a good hard look at our finances and the big picture. What I want to talk about right now, though, Phil, is when folks come to see you, Revolutionary Financial Group, you and your team, you really have a different way of operating. And I want to unpack that a little bit for our viewers.
Sure. Well, Jessa, when you've been doing something for 3 decades, boy, that sounds old, you learn along the way.
Yeah.
So first of all, in my journey, I started, just as a rep, working for big companies and all this kind of stuff. Moved into middle management like a lot of people in their profession. Then I moved into upper level management with huge Midwestern companies, and I was recruiting, training advisors, all of that kind of stuff.
You followed this career path right to some big spots.
But the problem that I always experienced was when you're working for these large firms, you got to kind of toe the line.
Yeah.
And you may say, well, gee, if I had my druthers, this is where I think the client, may need some more help in there. And they're like, well, they would set the perimeters. And like, so.
Yeah, they've got sort of maybe a little bit of an agenda, not always looking out for exactly what might be in the client's best interest.
You get the fiduciary thing, but the company signs your check.
Right.
So in developing my firm, first of all, Revolutionary Wealth Management Incorporated is a firm that I own.
Yes.
And that's our registered investment advisory company. And of course, I am an investment advisory rep through the company that I own.
Through your own
So who
company.
signs my paycheck?
You do.
Exactly, but the clients approve it.
There you go.
So I'm able, with that independence and that freedom, to sit down with you and say, hey, I got 31 years in all the ups and downs and 5 bear markets, behind me. So in what you're telling me, let's develop a plan based upon my years of experience and what you're telling me you want to achieve.
Right.
So when we put those two together, we have a winning situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as being an independent, we have that freedom to say, hey, I always tell people the only person that tells me what to do is my wife.
There you go.
And she's been around longer than I have been in the business. So
There
I've
you
been
are.
married like 34 years to the same person.
There you go. Congratulations.
So that's one thing, the independence to do what I believe and have the freedom to sit down with the client, not to, dictate to a client. So a lot of firms say, you come in and they're like, okay, what do I need to do and this and that? And they'll hand you a flathead screwdriver.
Right.
And they're like, that'll take care of all your problems.
Okay, this one tool.
Yeah, this one tool. Another person will come in and they'll have a totally different goals, dreams, aspirations, and they'll hand them a flathead screwdriver and say, that'll take care of your problem.
You get the same tool. Okay.
So, you may need a tape measure, a skill saw, a hammer, for your issues. This person may need, a Phillips head screwdriver, So the freedom of being independent and setting down together, not talking down or at, but together.
So you got the whole toolbox, is what you're saying.
The whole toolbox.
And
so
you have the independence to do that.
The other thing we look at is we're right here locally. So our office is at the Plaza in Belfair. It's a centrally located area there, not too far from the shopping center. Everybody knows where Belfair is. So local. And the other thing is fiduciary. So that's a word that people like to use, but the way I hear it, I don't always agree with what I'm hearing other people say when they have somebody else sign their paycheck.
Right. True.
But the fiduciary means that, I'm looking for you. Your paycheck what I do with your investments adds up to the paycheck that I can write to myself. So I want to do the best I can do.
Absolutely. Well, and I like the way that you say, really, it's in a way your clients are writing your paycheck. So
Yeah.
that's a good way to look at it. Another good thing to do would be to have a revolutionary wealth review. I didn't even mean for that to rhyme, but it worked out.
I like it.
But it's a great thing to do because it's free for one, there's no obligation, and you're able to lay it all on the line and take a really good look at it. So folks can do that. You can take advantage of this, of everything that Phil was just talking about, independent, local, fiduciary, right here, and have your team take a look at it. You're going to call Rachel to do that, set that up. She might ask you a few questions, tell you what you need to do to prepare, and then you can come in and have the team really take a deep dive.
Absolutely.
Okay, speaking of deep dives, we have more diving to do here on Lowcountry Money Talk after the break.